Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Nur Ala Izzati binti Hamizi from Group 12. Today, our group would like to present our task given by our madam for subject Islamic criminal law. Today, we would like to share to you guys about offense in Zakat and heresy. First, I would like to talk about heresy. What is the definition of heresy in general? The definition of heresy is a belief or action at odds with what is accepted, especially when the behavior is contrary to religion's doctrine or belief. An example of heresy is a Catholic who says that God is not exist in this world. Now, what is the definition of heresy in Islam? In Islam, heresy defined as any doctrines and practices initiated and supported by Muslim and non-Muslim who claim that the teachings are based on the teachings and practice of Islam, whereas the teachings and practice contradict that of the Quran and the Sunnah. There are many heretical teachings that exist and popular in Malaysia. One of them is the Kingdom of Heaven, which is known as Kerajaan Langit. There is a Malaysian who once claimed to be the God of all religions and can reincarnate as Jesus, Buddha, Shiva, and the Prophet Muhammad SAW. It sounds ridiculous, but it managed to influence thousands of followers who believe in the head of the teachings. Arifin Muhammad, who made the teapot a symbol of his teaching ideology in the mid-1980s. Secondly is Taslim. Historically, the teaching of Matahari or Taslim are also known as the oldest heretical teachings that existed around the 1817, and it is based in a village called Kampung Seronok. It all started after Haji Muhammad Syafi'i moved to Kampung Seronok in 1872 and called himself Taslim, who found the teaching of the sun. The teaching of the sun are said to have something to do with his statements that was made in front of the Mufti Kedah when asked about the God, and he pointed his finger at the sun. It not only angered the Mufti but also banned him from setting foot on Kedah. In Islam, the punishment of heresy fell under hudud. It is because the punishment for heresy has been set out in the Quran, and any Muslim who embraces heresy is considered as apostate. The punishment prescribed in the Quran for the offense of heresy is death.
As we know, hudud punishment in Malaysia is not carried out in the whole country. Hudud is also a form of law that cannot be changed at all because hudud is a punishment prescribed by Allah. Some people think that Malaysia is a secular country. The effect of the argument is that the offense and punishment of hudud, qisas, and any other law that has a religious nature or element cannot be implemented. In the punishment of Taazir, there is no obligation to prove a crime by witnessing or similar mechanism. Therefore, heresy can be categorized as Taazir because the punishment is determined by the authorities. Based on the Sharia Criminal Enactment Selangor 1995, there are punishments involving heretical teachings that occur in Malaysia. Firstly, in Section 4, wrongful worship. Any person who worships nature or does any act which shows worship or reference of any person, animal, place, or thing in any manner contrary to Islamic law shall be guilty of an offence and shall be liable on conviction to a fine not exceeding 3,000 ringgit or to imprisonment for a term not exceeding 2 years or 2 months. Secondly, Section 16, religious publication contrary to Islamic law. Any person who A. prints, publish, produce, records, or disseminates in any manner any books or document or any other form of record containing anything which is contrary to Islamic law, or has in his possession any such book, document, or any other form of record for sale or for the purpose of otherwise disseminating it, shall be guilty of an offence and shall be liable on conviction to a fine not exceeding 3,000 ringgit or to imprisonment for a term not exceeding 2 years or 2 months.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nosra Hanim binti Abdul Qadir and my metric number is 064987. So today I am going to talk about collecting zakat without authorization. Well, collection without authorization is an illegal activity where an irresponsible perpetrator makes a collection of money, which we call it as zakat, in a public place without any permission from authorities. Based on Section 33 of Sharia Criminal Offences Federal Territories Act 1997, it is stated that any person who collects zakat or fitrah or causes to be collected zakat or fitrah without being appointed as amil or otherwise authorized by majlis shall be guilty of an offence and shall on conviction be liable to a fine not exceeding 3,000 ringgit or imprisonment for a term not exceeding 2 years or both, and the court shall order such collection to be confiscated and paid by the fine established under Section 60 of the Administration Act. The case that I found relates to collecting zakat without authorization is Pendakwa Syar'i Selangor v. Muhammad Azmi and Anwar 2017. Both of the accused were charged of the attempt to collecting zakat without authorization under Section 52, subsection 1, clauses B, read together with Section 37 of Sharia Criminal Selangor Enactment 1995. Based on the fact of the case, both of the accused had opened 2 tables near the Cafe Apron Corporate Office, Malaysia International Airport in KLIA, with the purpose of collecting zakat under the payroll deduction scheme or transfer of payments from Inland Revenue Board of Malaysia to the management of zakat itself, which is Majlis Agama Islam Perlis. When the arrests were made, religious enforcement officer found that the forms for the scheme which were yet to be filled. Further, it was found out that prior to the arrest, both of the accused explaining to a woman about the scheme. The main issue for consideration were related to the conviction process and also the determination of sentences against both of the accused. The court held that convicting both of the accused of the charge and sentencing both of the accused to a fine 2,000 ringgit each or 9-day imprisonment in default of the payment of the fine itself. That's all from me.
I want to talk about zakat and fitrah without authority. The person who is in charge for collecting zakat is the one who is chosen by majlis. So if someone who is not chosen can't collect the zakat because it is not recognized, and the money given by the people will be misappropriated and not reach the person who entitled to receive zakat. In Surah At-Tawbah ayat 34, O believers, indeed many rabbis and monks consume people's wealth wrongfully and hinders others from the way of Allah. Give good news of a painful torment to those who hoard gold and silver and do not spend it in Allah's way. Zakat and fitrah without authority become Taazir because there is no specific punishment mentioned by Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala.
We
are going to talk about how to prevent all these mistakes in our community. What do you have in mind? To me, the most important thing is religion knowledge. Religion is understood to influence subjective well-being through various ways. The religious community gives people a sense of belonging and provides an important source of social support. With knowledge, no one will make such mistakes. Next, I want to talk specifically about how to prevent heresy. The government also played the main role to make a stricter law enforcement, especially for heresy. Make them suffer a really bad punishment for spreading all the fake religion things so that they will stop. That's all from me. Thank you.